Nobody is in a better position to answer how does NASCAR boom again than the guy that caused the last one. In the 1990s, Jeff Gordon was young from California, polarizing, dragged in a whole new audience of fans, and the haters and the sport blew up. So when Gordon got asked this week what it would take to recreate that today, people expected him to describe a driver. Instead, the answer started with the car. Why Jeff Gordon thinks the next gen car is working against the next superstar, which current drivers he named, and pointed the thing he said about Carson Hocevar. That is what we're going to be talking about in today's video, because Jeff Gordon was on Bussin' with the Boys this week, and he was talking about why a boom is harder now than ever. Now, the NASCAR Hall of Famer, I almost said WWE Hall of Famer, the NASCAR Hall of Famer thinks the next gen car is working against the next drivers because the biggest obstacle isn't personality, it's parity. And Gordon said the evolution of the aerodynamics and the car is making it harder for someone to dominate. Now, NASCAR's boom have historically been built on a dominant love him or hate him type figures. Gordon himself, the others. But the next gen car has tightened the field so much that it has sustained dominance, the kind that creates a villain or a hero. And that is nearly impossible to overcome. Now, this is the same tight field dynamic drivers describe at places like Indy, Daytona, Talladega, etc., where everyone runs almost identical lap times. They cannot pass. It's kind of gridlocked. It's great for parity, but it's tough for creating a star. The thing that makes racing quote unquote fair may be the thing that is suppressing the next megastar. Now, one of the lightning in the bottle personalities or a genuine connection to a fan base is one thing. But then there's the non-negotiable where you've got to back it up with winning on the racetrack. And that is where we go with Carson Hocevar. That's where we talk about where he can really pick things up, right? Now, Carson, who has been described as lightning in the bottle over and over, Gordon was asked and his answer was honest and a little bit cautionary. Gordon said that he wants Carson to succeed, that the sport needs him, and gave him credit for doing all the right things off the track, showing up and, having these personable interactions with fans and appearing on the ESPYs, putting himself out there while NASCAR helps him in the right rooms. But Gordon said, I want him to win more because we need him and he's got to win more. Now, Gordon's point is the personality and the spotlight only carries the sport so far. Without winning, Hocevar's phenomenon hits a ceiling. Now, this isn't a shot at Carson by any means. It's a same rule that Gordon applied to himself. You have to back up the noise, all the on-track issues, all in the talking trash and trolling people and everything like that. You have to back that up with results or the noise will stop because it will stop mattering because you cannot win, right? You can only talk so much trash or do so many different things and not have the type of success that you need, and it just starts to fall off. Now, in my opinion, Carson Hocevar is the sport's most marketable young personality. And he has a legitimate chance to succeed in this industry, succeed in this sport. But you have to have results. You have to go out there and perform. And he's done that in Spire. I think he's done that a lot quicker than people have expected him to do so. But now you have to continuously do that. You have to do that on a more continuous basis and a more consistent basis. And that's where he needs to really, really shine. Now, switching gears, let's talk about the bigger picture. Let's zoom out on Gordon's real conclusion. It's not about a savior in regards to the sport. Now, he's named Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Hocevar, and said that you need a handful of guys, each bringing something unique to the sport, plus loyal fans who ride with them no matter what. Gordon believes the group and the momentum are right there. The missing ingredient is letting a couple of those personalities pile up enough wins to become undeniable, like a Carson Hocevar, like a Corey Heim, like these young stars coming in. Now, I think the true needle mover in NASCAR, the guy that can be the next Gordon, Sr., Tony Stewart, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, these types of polarizing names that transcend the sport, these types of names that are able to gravitate fans to the sport, I think Carson Hocevar is that guy, because the problem with NASCAR's most popular driver, following Dale Jr., it went to who? Chase Elliott. Well, why is he, quote unquote, NASCAR's most popular driver, which I disagree with? I think it was honestly, you can make the case, yes, the fans love him, but honestly, I think Kyle Busch was a popular star there for a while because you had either fans love him or hate him. Regardless, they had an opinion about you. Chase Elliott doesn't come out there and get headlines. He doesn't say much. In my opinion, he comes across as disinterested in the sport in a lot of ways. And you have Carson, who legitimately loves the sport, who legitimately wants the sport to succeed. And he is someone that ultimately can connect with fans, whether it's his on-track performance, whether it's his on-track comments, or whether it's, playing iRacing, or he's really good with social media, or the whole, hey, I'm going to be at my hauler, I'm going to give away my own merch as long as you bring a t-shirt and trade it with me. We're going to do trade-ins, right? Those are opportunities that he can really build in new fans, because then you start to have a fan interaction. And anytime you have a fan interaction, and one that is positive, then that is something that you can do. And he has the ability to create buzz. And he reminds me in this way. I'm not saying on a talent level, I'm saying this in terms of a personality standpoint. He reminds me a lot of Kyle Busch. You either love him or you hate him, but you have an opinion about him. He always has you talking, whether it's because of what he did, because of what he said. Regardless of the reason you're talking about him, the point is, and more importantly than anything, you are talking about him. That's what you need. If it's good, great. If it's bad, great. But if no one's talking about you, that's a problem, in my opinion. Let me know down in the comments area below. What do you think about Gordon's comments about Carson? What do you think about where Carson is going in the industry? Let me know down in the comments area below, and I will see y'all in the next video.